Hello guys, welcome back to another entertainment roundup. I'm Jay 77 and doing again a freestyle on this first recorded video and I've done in a while. I'm gonna touch on a few things, but first, might as well start on some good news for a change. Congratulations to Christina Ricci. She have given birth to a baby boy. So congratulations to her. This is something that I'll be honest with you, I never thought would happen in my lifetime, and the reason is that she has been in the business for quite some time, ever since she was a child, and she never seemed like the one that was a married type. But not only she have gotten married, have met her husband through a the TV series she was working on, Pan Am, but it's been confirmed very quietly, no less, that she have indeed became a mother. So again, congratulations to her. She has really had a very unique career, mostly in the independent circuit. She hasn't really had a massive breakthrough as an adult star as one may hope, but she still has done well. She still is doing fabulously well. She has a new TV series out. Her resume is very long, and every now and then you see her in the major movies, and most of the time you'll see her in independent films. But she's still out there. She's still doing her thing, and now she has one more accomplishment to put in her list. And all I can say is congratulations to her and her new grown family. With that being said, I have to go from this one to the Robin Williams situation. I don't know what to say other than the first video that I have made. Actually, I scrapped the pre-recording and actually put a little bit of what I want to talk about on this video. But I might as well just talk a little bit about Ryan Williams, the stuff that has happened, the suicide, and even the secret battle he was going through with himself. As you guys know, he was diagnosed with Parkinson's. This is something that's been told through his wife, and this is also something that a lot of people are contributing as one of the major, perhaps one of the major reasons why he had taken his life. According to some of the reports I have read, including to some of the stuff that his wife has said, that he wanted to keep it private. He wasn't ready to share it with his fans. But you can, some reports say you can tell that he was pretty much. It was only so much he can take, and this pretty much was the final straw, and which led to him doing what he did. This is something that even the fans, this is way too much for the fans to take, but a lot of stuff has been surfacing. All you saw on the front page over the last 5 days was Ryan Williams, this and that. People magazine did a special article with him, a dedication magazine. They mostly do that with a lot of fallen stars, a lot of famous fallen stars. This recently, there was a report that he had done a video talking to a mother who was stricken with cancer. And needless to say, it has been pretty much a hot potato of news for the entertainment world, both for good and for bad, because it is something that I think that a lot of people, especially a lot of people who are dealing with depression, need to see and to talk about, especially in how to deal with the situation. Because a lot of people, and again, I said this in the standalone video, that a lot of people think that depression is something you can just turn off. That's not as simple as one may actually think. A lot of stuff goes into it. There is no one clear answer. But again, you have a lot of people who are just not educated or just choose not to educate themselves and say some of the harshest, dumbest things. Now, the first thing I have to talk about when talking about this issue is the Fox News anchor who have said something that I have heard what he said, but yet I'm not mad at him for one reason. He is reflecting a lot of people's feeling towards this, and that what Ryan Williams did was a cowardly act. Now, he didn't directly say that. I want to get that clear right now. He didn't directly say it, but he did mention coward in his article, and he did come back to apologize. And you also have a former star from Different Strokes. I think he's one of the last surviving members of Different Strokes to actually come out and tweeted that he had problems. What he did was not right. He has problems. Why? And I didn't take my life. Now, he later on deleted that tweet. But this is something that, again, I have to say that is out there that people believe that what Williams did was cowardly and selfish, when in reality that is far from it. Again, I can get I can get as much mad. I can make a rant video about what Fox did. I'm not gonna do that because again, he's one of many people out there who feels the same way. And until one, this country takes mental health seriously, which they're not. Let's keep it real here. I mean, this country have gutted a lot of programs that deal with mental health issues. And two, when people actually realize and educate themselves about what depression is, you're gonna have people who feel this way, especially if there are jealous people who are jealous of what one of these big stars have. Ryan Williams, of course, is not the only ones dealing with issues like this. They mentioned Catherine Zeta-Jones with a bipolar disorder. They mentioned a lot of other stars who are going through similar situation. Even Owen Wilson, who I think people have forgotten that tried to take his life himself, has been dealing with this. So again, the idea that the rich don't have problems, I think you really need to look beyond that. Look beyond the money perspective. Mental health affects everyone. And that is something I think people need to truly understand, truly need to look at, and ask themselves, hey, is this real? How deep does this really go? And really do their homework before opening up their mouth and say what he does to counteract. Another thing is, and I don't want to go too deep in it, a lot of people have religious views on suicide because, again, people believe that if you commit suicide, you're going to go to hell. Throw that out the door, please. Okay, I'm not saying not to believe in your spiritual beliefs, but understand here, like I said, this affects people young and old. There was reports of children killing themselves over depression. Are you telling me they're going to go to hell for what they have done, or is there something more deeper that we're not paying attention to? There's something that I want everybody to look at before they try to put religion into it, before they try to say if the person is a coward, or try to put money as an excuse to hate on someone like this. Another example here, and this is something that was reported, that what's the purpose of bullying Ronnie Williams' children? I don't get it. What are you trying to accomplish other than the fact of showing just how much of a coward you are, of an insensitive person you are? What was that all about? Again, there is a lot of bitterness, a lot of anger, there's a lot of jealousy, and to me that's sad that I got a report about Ronnie Williams' children being bullied on Twitter, then talk about a man and remembering a man's great legacy. So again, I think that's something I think you guys, everyone, including myself, need to really look in the mirror and ask ourselves. A deep question is how are we in terms of how we treat people, how we deal with people, and how we view things from the outside. Again, we don't think about it until it actually hit us close to home. With that, I'm going to leave it at that. Another story that the Entertainment Roundup that's keep brewing, and I try to ignore this for the longest. I really have. I actually even mentioned this in a live feed of Entertainment Roundup about the Beyonce Jay Z situation. I have really gotten sick and tired of seeing it. It's every day, and again, I don't like going to juicy gossip. I'm not going to talk about is she going to get divorced, isn't she going to get divorced, or their marriage is breaking up. That's not the issue here. The issue is this is becoming an issue in terms of they keep doing this, they keep throwing it out there, and I'm actually now pretty much pleading with both Jay Z and Beyonce, could you please come out publicly, do an interview together, and basically knock all these rumors out here, because it's becoming to the point where it's every single day. I'm getting kind of tired of it. Look, we all know that gossip tabloids love to stir trouble in hopes they can get something, in hopes they can actually find out if one of these things are indeed true. And right now, they're focusing on this couple. They was focusing on Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt for a while. They've been focusing on Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith and their children for a while. Oh, they're gonna break up. They have an open marriage, this and that. And now they seem to be stuck on Jay Z and Beyonce. And to me, it doesn't make any sense. Just 48 hours ago. And I say 48 hours ago because I haven't looked at any articles after that. They had an article saying that Beyonce is ready to divorce Jay Z again. And there are stories coming out saying that, hey, they're, the peer relations guys, the guys who try to paint a pretty picture of what they are, try to do damage control, is saying just smile up for the camera, make it look like everything's okay when in reality it's not. There's so much stuff being thrown out there that I'm saying, could both husband and wife just go on? I don't care what talk show you can go. You can go on Today's Show. You can go on Fox. You can go on E or TMZ. Go on these shows. Tell them, look, everything's fine. Everything's good. We're stronger than ever. We're we're raising our wonderful daughter. We're touring together, which they have. I think they just finished their tour. Leave us the hell alone. Stop with these rumors. And here's another thing I have to throw out there, and this is something I think everybody should throw out there. If this is coming from their own camp, that somebody's just throwing out all this kind of stuff from all over the place, they need to find out who that person is and fire him immediately, because it's becoming a strain now. It's not becoming a strain much of the fans, because I guarantee you those who like chaos is going to glue onto this and just see this and just stick to it. But the fact is, this is going to be affecting your family. Now, your daughter's too young to see the tabloids. That's the positive thing. But she's going to get older, and after a while, she's going to be asking questions. And this is becoming an issue. And it's not even that. The situation with Beyonce's sister didn't actually help matters either, the elevator incident. So keeping that in mind, these things are going to get worse before it gets better. Okay, and I'm frankly tired of seeing it. Like, look, I don't care about Beyonce's marriage. I don't stay glued 24 hours a day to know what Beyonce and Jay Z is doing, or what Kim Kardashian and Kanye West is doing. That's not my concern. If it's not something that is deep and it's going to affect not only themselves but also the the overall the safety of the neighborhood, or the safety of what's going on around our my fair city, or anyone for that matter, I'm not going to be poured on what they're doing next. I don't care what JC Cologne's wearing. I don't care what Beyonce's shoes are. I'm not going to be poured on that. If you guys want to see that, and want to look at it, just go to a fashion channel, or go to one of these YouTube channels that dedicate themselves to that, or TMZ for that matter. They seem to be the ones that like to talk about what Jay Z is drinking the next morning, coffee or cappuccino. I don't care about that. What I am bothered with some is that this is becoming an everyday trend. Every day or every 2 days, Beyonce's prepared to get a divorce. So Jay Z is about to separate or doing this. You know what? Enough already. Jay Z, Beyonce, I'm pleading with you. Please, go on the air, go on television, and just knock these rumors to rest. Because as long as you choose to ignore it, it's just going to get worse. And they're going to bring questions. So even your fans, are they really divorcing? Because nobody don't seem to be saying anything. Just saying. All right, on to some movie talk here. Expendables 3. This is something I'm not too shocked by, especially after the pirating of their movie, which I still find very suspicious. I'll get to that later on. But here's the deal. It is considered a flop. Out of all 3 films, it bombed, and it bombed badly. Again, it wasn't actually released under the best of times, because a lot of other films that was actually better, that was actually more entertaining, came out. And the funny thing about this movie is, preview-wise, it was not that bad. The previews was actually pretty decent. The problem is, and I think anybody who's a hardcore action fan is, like myself, nobody expect Expendables 3 to be PG-13. Again, I think that hurt them more than even the pirating has. There's really nothing new to the franchise, to be honest with you. And I'm aware that the first one was supposed to be PG-13, but it wasn't. It was rated R. That had bad CGI, but you didn't care because you saw your favorite guys shooting stuff up and just basically taking names. The same thing with 2, even though I think 2 was a lot worse than 1. This is my opinion, of course. But the point is, you know what you expect to see an Expendables movie when you see Sylvester Stallone and these guys getting together. No, I don't blame this on Mel Gibson, no Wesley Snipes. I don't think that was one of the main causes. I know a friend of mine was asking me that. That has nothing to do with it. It has plenty to do with the fact is that again, Hollywood keeps watering down their products. You already know what Expendables are. We already understood that Expendables is a shoot 'em up movie that's made for older viewers. Why are you targeting younger viewers for this film? And here's the funny thing is, your viewership is not going to change because the those who are watching the Expendables 1 and 2 is anywhere between the age of 17 and up. Unless their parents are taking their 5-year-old to see this film, there's no way you're getting that kind of audience. So making it PG-13 makes absolutely no sense because the same people who are fans of your movie will pretty much go to see this film. What you did was pretty much turn off a lot of people because I remember seeing some of those blogs and they were not happy to see a PG-13 film. The same thing with RoboCop. Alright, and it does hold a lot of weight because everything that they call love in the first two films, they knew they wasn't going to find. Now, here's the thing. Again, the previews, including some of the YouTube reviewers that I've seen, they gave it pretty good reviews. So again, to me, whether it be blood or not, I think it's relevant. But again, if for a person who is expecting that and they see PG-13 and they see the poster, which by the way was the worst poster I have ever seen in my entire life. I never seen such a plain, obvious poster. You had the first Expendables, you look like tough guys, they're grinting, they're like they ready to blow stuff up. You had the skull there, that was actually cool. Same thing with Expendable 2, you got no nonsense guy, the skull's there. And Expendable 3, everybody's smiling, everybody's having a good old time. There's a bad guy smiling right at me. No skull, just 3. It was just so, yeah, none attracted, none interesting. And yes, I do believe one of the major factors was the pirating. The pirating did play a huge role in that because a lot of people pirated and they lost a lot of money on that. So that did not help matters either. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that went into this. I'm questioning the pirated part for one reason because I look at that situation and I'm asking myself, how the hell did that leak? Because this is not somebody who actually, recorded from the movie theater. The movie theater hasn't been around yet. So there's no question that there's somebody who have actually, from studios, have done this. Let me explain the root of pirating. Someone with a camera went to the theater, sat down and watched the movie, and recorded from a camera from either from a shoulder or from a backpack which was hidden somewhere, and then they come out and make copies of that. They distribute it to the streets for 5, maybe 2 for 10. That's how they do it. That is what video pirating is. It's been done for years. So this is nothing new. And you can easily tell that the person has got it from the movie theaters because you can see somebody walk past the movie theater. You're sitting there and like this one day, dude, there's a guy blocking the camera view. So trust me when I say that it's not that simple. This is a downloadable copy. So that means someone in the studios have leaked that out. So I'm kind of curious, and I know they're upset, I know they're mad, but then again, I gotta ask the people, the studios, how did they got the hold of the master copy, and how did they download it digitally? So I know they curved it out, but the damage was done. So yeah, that was a big situation, and I think the studios need to really take a look at that and they can't say it's from someone from the outside. This has to be someone from the inside. It has to be. There's no other way. There's no way to put it. But again, that did not help matters. A lot of people who probably wanted to see the film or had, so feelings about the films, they say, I can get it download for free, pirated it. Boom, there it is. And there goes half of your audience right there. So yeah, I do believe it plays a key factor, but a lot of other stuff has played a factor. The downloading, the change of the rating, which it seemed like Sylvester Stallone was helping them doing. Pretty much watering down the action scenes. There's a lot of stuff that has played into this, and even though again it had a good rating, people didn't want to see a PG-13ish action film. They don't want to. And again, I gotta ask Hollywood, can you please stop trying to make the film watered down to get the masses? You know who your audience are. The audience rather see that than just see a watered down version. Because guess what? 9 out of 10, people gonna hate it. People didn't like RoboCop because it didn't feel like RoboCop. It felt like a generic version of RoboCop. That's what it was. And then sadly about it, it had potential. It really did have potential. And it was just watered down. Because you put a PG-13 to get the masses, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be good. I'm just thankful you haven't done it to Judge Dredd. I'm very happy. I'm very happy. Thank you very much for not doing it. Now, on to I promised a friend of mine I would talk about this. I haven't seen the Broadway play, so I'm not gonna give an actual review on it, but I am gonna give you a trend that I think a lot of people need to understand because a lot of people were upset that "Holler If You Hear Me," based on some of the lyrics from Tupac, was taken out after I believe a month and a half on Broadway. This is not the only show that got knocked down, of course. There was a lot of shows that got canceled out for after a while. Rocky is doing his last run, Rocky Broadway. That is slated to close down, I believe, the last week of August. We also have Newsy, which actually closed down, I believe, now. I'm pretty sure. I think it's either now or pretty much this week. Newsy lasted a long time, so it was a massive hit. But Holla If You Hear Me is something that a lot of people wanted me to talk about. I'm gonna say it straight up right now. I didn't even know that was based on Tupac until I actually read the actual advertisement. It said the music is Tupac, and then they said that the play is based on not really based on him, but the lyrics are pretty much his. His mother have actually was the co-producer, and I was like, oh, interesting. And it replaced Annie, which lasted a year on Broadway, which everybody knew Annie was gonna, phase out. That seemed to be the norm with Annie shows. I won't be surprised 3 years later Annie comes back on Broadway with a whole different cast. So I'm not even concerned about Annie. Annie, plays its run and then they leave and it comes back. But Holla If You Hear Me is very unique because one, when I first heard about it, I said, okay, this may look good on paper, but again, you got to remember, Tupac's lyrics, or I like to call, in most cases, poetry, are very controversial in some areas, and at the same time, they're very good in some areas. To put that in a Broadway play is very, very difficult, and to almost impossible. That's one. Two, I don't think too many people knew this actually existed. I don't think people didn't realize what this play was all about. And I think people had very mixed messages, and I think people, for the like of it, stayed away. You knew the show was in trouble when, after just 2 weeks, it went down. The ticket prices went as low as $35. Let me explain this to you guys. The average ticket for a Broadway show can range anywhere from $65 to $1,000. Ticket from Broadway is not cheap at all. So when you see something as low as $35, you know it's not doing well at all, and that just tells you that the people just wasn't interested, and that pretty much led to it being closed down. Do I want to see it closed down? No, but again, Broadway shows, especially in New York, they don't. It's very rare to see a Broadway show have a long lifespan. Phantom of the Opera, I am still stunned that it ran 20 years. All right, Mamma Mia has a nice long run. Jersey Boys, nice long run. Book of Mormon having a terrific run. There's a reason why these shows have a run because because a lot of these shows know how to advertise themselves. A lot of these shows know how to do special promotions, and especially for Disney, who needs to do special promotions because their target audience is not just adults but children, and they're charging a lot of prices. You need to have these type of promotions, these type of prices. If the show A bad review for a show is very costly. Very rarely you see shows that have bad reviews or fair reviews last long in Broadway. One of those exceptions, of course, is Wicked. A lot of people don't know Wicked was not really well received by critics. It was very, very mixed. But yet, a lot of people is in love with The Wizard of Oz. A lot of people have read the book of Wicked. A lot of people want to see that show, and it's done very well, and it's doing a fabulous run. I think it's just finished its 11th year on Broadway. There are shows like First Date, who has a good star power, but yet didn't do well with the reviewers, and they targeted audiences. It wasn't enough to justify keeping them on Broadway past this prime. After 3 months, it was gone, and it was gone quick. There are shows that because it was so expensive, the tickets didn't match the budget, and they was going after that. So it's a whole lot of things go into it. Holla Hear Me just basically didn't draw because Harley people didn't know what to think of it. Nobody know what to do with it, and they target and then people just stayed away from it. That's just how it is. I don't think it was because the theaters didn't give it a chance. Because I tell you right now, there's a lot of shows that actually was here and they didn't last no more than a day. right? Chaplin was here and gone. And I was very curious how Charlie Chaplin was going to be done, but Charlie Chaplin, it came and it just disappeared. 9 to 5 started doing, I believe, 2008 and lasted 3 months. And I had a feeling that was going to happen because 9 to 5 has a demographic that is more geared towards the South than it is in the North. And guess what? They actually did touring in the South. Legally Blonde. That was a show that actually lasted a while. But let's be realistic. There's only so much you can do with it. There's only so much fanfare you can do with it, and then they have to move on. And it was replaced by Annie. Annie is a show that I don't see lasting that long in Broadway. They had a lot of changing that was going on, and in terms of who's playing Miss Hannigan. And after a while, they closed shop after the new year. And that show actually got good reviews. But the audience, again, pretty much been there, done that. Mind you, they're still going strong. They got an Annie movie coming out with Jamie Foxx. So that says something. But Broadway is not the same. I mean, Broadway, their lifespan pretty much varies on those tickets. And the reviews really must will play into that. Now, there's a couple of new shows that's going to be opening in Broadway. One just finished, and I'm actually kind of curious about. The Curious Case of the Dog in the Nighttime, which I almost confused myself from Sherlock Holmes. I also noticed that there's another show that's going to come on. I can't get the name of it, where Spider-Man Charles Dark used to play, which is now, I believe, is on tour. So that Broadway show is going to be opened up soon. I'm trying to get the name of it. There's rumors that Guys and Dolls may come back. So there's a lot of stuff that's happening. Les Mis is doing well. They just came back. So again, it all goes on, depends on what they're going to do. But as far as it's being given an unfair shake, it's just more of the fact that people didn't come and see it. And you can't really say about it being an African show because there was actually shows that actually did good. After Midnight did pretty well. You also had a Broadway show that's still going on. That's Motown. Now, Motown's doing pretty good. They're doing fantastically well, surprisingly well. So I think it's more about the demand. And if the demand's not there and the promotion's not there, which obviously it wasn't, you're going to have that situation. So I hope I answered that question, my friend. But no, I'm sorry. I mean, if the pie was promoted better, if people probably would have had a better understanding what the play was all about, then I think it probably would have had it last longer. Well, who knows? And that's just about it. That's all I got to say about this entertainment roundup. Keeping it freestyle. I'll probably go back to the normal routine: 5 stories, 5 topics, 1 from each section. In the next section here, I am closing in on the season finale, of course, so those things will be coming up as well. But for the time being, I think this is pretty good. I get to talk about more freely what's on my mind, as well as some stuff that's going on. And pretty much like this. If you guys have any articles you want me to do before the next week entertainment roundup, please let me know. Put it on the on my inbox or on my Google Plus. I might as well just use it for something. God knows it's collecting dust. But in the meantime, guys, this is Jay 77 saying take care, be safe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.